Welcome to this week's episode of the Relly and Deli podcast. I'm Relly.
And I'm Deli, and today we are talking about Spiderman.
What a brand new day.
Brand new day! Yay! Spice! We got to the city, doing all the stuff, and all that stuff going on. This is a brand new day.
This is, our first movie review that we're doing on camera. And we might just put out the audio and stuff like that, still on YouTube for sure, like Apple and everything.
Yeah.
But we decided to record live as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I think this is such a big, momentous event. We've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this. We mentioned it in a previous podcast, previous episode. But yeah, we just thought let's try out the camera.
Absolutely. So this is going to be one of our RaD movie reviews. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. Yeah. We had a very strong discussion on are we going to do spoilers or not? Spoiler alert, there's nothing to spoil about the film that has not been spoiled.
Honestly.
By the fandom.
Yeah, there was a huge plot point that the fandom's been talking about for months. And there's literally no way to escape it because we were at a in-person event and somebody brought it up.
This was.
So, it was like a conversation. Yeah, we were in an in-person event and they just brought it up. So it was like, even if we hadn't seen it online, they would have still told us.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of those things where it's a fan theory or a leak or something, and it turns out to be true. And it turns out to be one of the biggest plot points of the whole movie.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to do this review kind of like old school season 1, where we're just going to go through the film. Mm-hmm. We are going to touch on our 4 main points and give you our score, but we're not really going to pull any punches. This is a 100% spoiler review.
Yes,
okay, so spoilers are bound to pop up after this point. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining us. We do our reviews in 4 main categories. First being the story, second being acting and dialogue, the third being cinematography, and then the fourth being sound design. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to get updates. We're doing pretty much all new movies is what we typically do in our movie review.
We do. It's going to be in theaters. We may do something later on where we're doing watch-alongs, and those are older movies.
Yeah.
But as far as our reviews, they're brand new.
Yes. And thank you guys so much for helping us hit our over 50 subscribers on our way to 100 right now. So thank you. So without further ado, let's get into this film. So before we talk scores, I'm going to give a brief overview synopsis. This, first of all, is pretty iconic because is he the first person officially to have a 4th movie? Thor.
Thor has 4 movies.
So he's the second. He's in a very small category of people that... Small. We've got to put Fran in there. But a very small category, a group of people who have had 4 films in the MCU when some people don't even have 1.
That's true. And I do think he's the first Spider-Man in general to have 4 movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Tobey Maguire got 3.
Andrew
got 2.
Got 2. Then you get the 3rd.
Yeah. And then he's officially the Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
He has the most movies.
And this film is really great because, from listening to Feige and some of the things that they've talked about, this is really doing multiple jobs at once, right?
Okay.
We're kind of re-familiarizing the MCU again with legacy characters, or I guess midway characters like Spider-Man. He wasn't there from the beginning, but people would say he is now officially first wave MCU at this point because he was there before Endgame, okay? So we have him, some familiarity. We're picking up after the story, which feels roughly, I think, 4 or so years since the events of the 3rd Spider-Man film. And then they're really showcasing how rich Spider-Man's comics and his world is.
Yeah.
And how important he is to Marvel.
Right.
There's a lot of people, I guess I won't really say all of the Easter eggs or some of the baddies that he fights, but there's a great montage scene. So they do a good job of like introducing some Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
Some we've seen, some we haven't.
Yeah.
And I think this helped to reshape and refocus the discussion of that dreaded M word they were not allowed to say for a lot of years. Mutant.
Yeah.
And it was pretty great. As a whole.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it was really good. I think you did hit the nail on the head there where Spider-Man is now like our OG. There's been some hints or whatever of Captain America, Chris coming back to do Captain America in the next Doomsday or the next Avengers movie. But as far as like, you know, current movies that are coming out, Spider-Man is our OG. Like all the other ones, other heroes from like the original Avengers have kind of fallen back or kind of run their course.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely integral to MCU going forward for sure.
Absolutely.
Especially given the characters that are put into this movie. So yeah, like you said, it's been like the about 4 years since the last movie, and we're just picking up with Peter now after he did what he had to do to make sure that everybody forgot him.
Yes.
And so that's what we're picking up. That's really it. Yeah. He's really just been fighting crime, and he's been alone. And that's a big part of this. And like what that means for him, what are the repercussions of that, and how that all plays out.
Absolutely. You know, when it comes to story, and we'll talk more like as we go through.
Yeah.
I would give this story maybe, I guess I will give it a 9. I'm saying between an 8 or 9, maybe an 8.5. Maybe this is the first time I give like a split score.
Okay.
I gave it an 8.5. And it probably was just losing points, I think, because the one thing that would have blown my wig off, you know, was ruined. Because, like, there's a sick obsession right now with the fandom of, like, being the first bitch to say anything or know anything or leak or spoil or ruin. And like I said yesterday, it started with Perez Hilton.
He did say that. I mean, y'all weren't there, but I was there.
I said it. Like,
he said it began
he really opened the floodgates, like the gates of Troy.
Ooh.
And really ushered in an era of like, oh, this thing you like, bet I could ruin it. Bet I know more about it before you bitch.
Ooh.
And that's kind of where we're at. There's no more wonder and mystery in like what is going to happen. Nobody wants to go to the theater and be shocked. Everybody
wants to know ahead of time.
Wants to know ahead of time. What is that about? What is wrong? What is wrong with y'all? Who hurt you so much? What are you afraid of that you don't want the excitement of seeing something for the first time? Going into the theater and just being like, what?
Yeah.
She's in this? He's in this? You know what I mean? Like, when I saw, there was a lot of chatter about Deadpool and who was going to be in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to block it out. And when my sister, Electra, stepped out of there, I literally screamed. I probably was the only person that excited.
Nobody revealed that.
Maybe, but I had to stop looking. Because they revealed that, like, you know, he was going to be, you know, Cap was going to be there as a torch. They revealed a lot of shit. And I just had to start like tuning out the noise. I'm somebody that has 3 separate Twitter accounts for different purposes. You know, I have Wooden Foot, I have she cutting up, which isn't officially me.
Oh,
alright, we're gonna recant that one.
Okay.
Redacted. And then I have you know, the Relly and Deli pod. Right. It's really hard not to see spoilers. It's coming at me from different directions. So
I don't know what, you know, I don't know why people get such a charge out of that, because that was the biggest thing for me with movies, like stories, books, shows, anything is like letting them show me, letting them tell me what the story is.
Right.
I don't want it, like, I don't want any spoilers. I don't want to know who's in it. I don't want to know anything about it. Honestly, we don't even really look at trailers like that. We start looking away from trailers after maybe the first or second time seeing it.
Yeah.
So that's not our wheelhouse, but the majority of society does want to to know what's going on, or I don't know what that is. That feed just like I want to know before anybody else. People, and I mean, it even goes back to like people leaking. Like, why are you leaking the information? Because that means somebody who made this movie, involved in that production, leaked this information.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I looked at all those, credits last night, and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of people on this, and it's probably very hard to keep everybody on the hush hush. And Marvel normally does pretty good with like keeping their big reveals and their big stuff like secret.
Yeah.
But I guess this time not so much.
They were like not so much.
And I would say with Deadpool and Wolverine, they had a whole bunch of cameos, a whole bunch of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So there was more to try to hide, or more to like that you probably maybe didn't hear.
Yeah.
But there's only like one big one in this. There's a couple of small cameos too.
Yeah, that are like cool. Fun.
But yeah, like as far as the plot point and gags, this was a reveal.
Yeah.
So yes. I do want to talk a little bit about before I get into like the deep story. I guess you put your score out. So I put my score out.
Mm-hmm.
Cut all that out.
Okay.
So yes, I gave the story a 10. All that being said,
for sure,
I gave the story a 10, and I didn't have to like dial back, and just be like, if I didn't know any of this and I just watched this, what would I think?
Yeah. And
so that really gave me a 10. There's so many different things going on here. I do want to talk a little bit about the director, and then we can get into like the writers as well, because I think the writers definitely need to be talked about here because the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, the director here is Destin Daniel Cretton, probably Cretton, because it's one E, But when I pulled him up, I was surprised at him because I thought it was just a white man. It's not. It's not.
Oh.
He also directed Shang-Chi.
Okay, who do you think he is? Charles Melton?
He could be Charles Melton. The skin, the hair. Yeah, you're giving it. But anyway, so yeah, he was born and raised in Hawaii, and his mother is Japanese American. His father is white American. But yeah, I thought we were going to be just seeing a white man here, so we do love that. That's our director. As far as our writers, we have Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers. Both of them have been writing this whole series. So that speaks volumes to the continuity, because it feels really good. Like, it feels like all this is together. So we do love that. A couple of things about the story. Or do you want to do a little?
I was just going to say the producer child, Amy Pascal. Girl.
What's going on with her?
I mean, she has a decent enough career. She's worked on a lot of things. She's like a big exec at Sony who's been there, worked on the Across the Spider-Verse. She got some controversies. We'll talk about that in the afterpod.
Oh.
Naughty girl, you a dirty bitch now.
Oh, wow.
She made a good film.
I mean, don't bring her up in here.
Oh, sorry.
No, she gonna be up in here, and we're gonna talk about it in the afterpod, and y'all can do y'all own research as well.
Correct.
I do,
yeah,
by all means. But yeah, so yeah, I gave the story a 10. Writing, directing, writer and directors, great, good stuff. I do have to give a shout out to we see Spider-Man in a new light in this movie. We're like kind of in the suit with him. It's very much him climbing up on a stripper pole in the paint. Yeah. You hear all the breathing. You hear the grunting. You see how much energy and how much effort it takes to swing through the city. Yeah. Because baby girl going through some things.
Yeah. I put that in points towards cinematography.
Oh, okay.
But it does drive the story, right? Because this is a story of basically the loneliness of Peter Parker. Peter Parker has removed himself from the minds of everyone. Yeah. They do a good job of addressing some of the things like, well, girl, no one knows you exist. So like school, rent, apartment, getting a job, how are you going to handle these things? Yeah. There's a pretty good couple of montages at the beginning of the film that handles that. Yeah. But yeah, this story also, I think it's about humanity. It's about isolation. Yeah. And I think it's about okay, not to get too deep and introspective, right? There's a lot of these prison studies about like how isolation tends to like permanently affect people and change them beyond just like their psychological. And then there's been these like, I will have to look for exactly what the study is, but the idea of like when you're trapped on a stranded island, you're no longer part of society. Are you more or less human than you were if you were to live amongst civilization?
Yeah.
And I think that this film touches on that because even though he's walking around in the middle of the city and society, we see that he has no one. The closest relationship he has now is with the freaking like police chief who did an amazing job.
Yeah, she's great.
And he even like kind of says like, hey, you know, like, she's like, you need to socialize. She's like, what? We're socializing right now. She's like, bitch, I don't know you. I don't know your face.
Yeah.
I've never met you. I don't know your name. You don't know my kid's name.
You don't know anything about me either.
We don't know each other. We just have like a great rapport and we have like a work relationship for what it is.
Absolutely.
And we see that like Peter's starting to undergo a change.
Yeah.
And the question of like the arachnid DNA that has been mutating him is now kind of like taking control.
It is. It's heightening. He has a great system, which I don't know if we saw that system before.
Those are the glasses that he got from the second movie that Tommy lent him.
That's what I thought.
That Jake Gyllenhaal took as Mr.
Yeah. So he has a great system of like, that's like helping him with everything. And it's monitoring his DNA and it's like, your arachnid shit is like double the amount that it normally is. It's really ratcheting up. And that's causing so many things with him. As far as like his Spidey senses, his aggression, his everything, how he like it can navigate the city with web, without web. It's just chaotic. And he's having like these blackout sleepwalking events essentially.
These crazy.
It's a lot going. Crazy night. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. But I do think this movie does have a lot of good themes in it, and that's why I have the score so high.
Yeah.
There's like themes of belonging and loneliness.
Yes.
And so humans are social creatures. No matter what anybody says, like even the most introverted, you know, whatever, you have to have some kind of human interaction somehow, somewhere. It's necessary. So this movie also talks about like embracing differences and facing emotional pain and trauma, as well as like what it means to be a monster. Like where do you cross that line where you're a monster?
Absolutely.
And what is that? Are you just different? Or should you be embracing your different? Has society told you you're a monster? You're a monster?
Yeah.
Like, what do you kind of have to do with that?
And that is expressed, I think, in like different degrees.
Yeah.
Between a lot of the characters in this film.
I thought that was done really well between the different characters. Because it's 3 in particular. Really 4 if you want to.
Yeah.
So that are right. Really facing that same question. Like, am I a monster? What makes a monster? Has society deemed me a monster?
Absolutely. And then the redemption of these different types of acts. And how you could just like come back from doing something extremely dark and dangerous.
Absolutely.
Now, the story is successful in part based off of the acting and the dialogue. And we put this as a joint category because, you know, one can act like, did this person do a good job because they're a good actor? Or did they do a good job because the material was just so fucking great?
Right.
And I think that, you know, it ebbs and flows. It's not like a split 50-50. But regardless, this is one score. I think ultimately a great job was done. I give this also a 9. So I will give my story a 9. I'm giving acting and dialogue a 9 as well. Because we did get some really good performances. And this being the 4th Spider-Man film, I feel like a lot of the characters we got to see were new. It's really like let's say 4 to 6 people that we've already seen before.
Okay.
And then it was a bunch of actually new people and new roles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the people who we've known felt lived in. They felt like they were making decisions as much as they could that felt real to themselves while still exhibiting some type of development and growth in like who they are in this particular world and universe.
Absolutely.
You know? And I'll touch more on it, but what did you give it for acting and dialogue?
Acting and dialogue, I gave it an 8.
Okay.
It probably could be a little bit higher, but I think I've been spoiled, and I'm gonna tell you why. So nobody really blew me away, but that's because all the actors in this are really good, and I'm always used to them giving great work. Mm-hmm. So like, you're not blowing me away because you're always great.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I feel like they've kind of spoiled me in that regard. Yeah, that's my biggest thing with that.
I can understand that, and that's why I wanted to say too. Like when I say they feel lived in, it feels like they are who they're supposed to be.
They've embodied those characters, and it feels natural. They don't have any actions that don't make sense, or
some definite standouts. You know, little Tommy Holly, great.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was my second favorite Spider-Man. I think he's now become my number 1.
Yeah.
And again,
okay,
there are no bad Spider-Men.
That's true. None of them are bad.
None of them are bad.
I don't think
there are just some that are more authentic to, I think, who the comic books want them to be or what that adaptation is. My number 1 for a long time was Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
When you look at Amazing Spider-Man, I feel like he got it, he gets it. Tobey will always be the first, the original, and nobody can
He made this possible. He showed that, like, you can.
This is the thing.
Spider-Man.
Now, but Tom Holland, man, is just doing a very great job.
He is.
It was great to see. You know, Ned was one of my favorites. He did a great job.
Ned did a really good job as well.
And I feel like, he did a great job. MJ, I think, gave more range than she's ever given.
I agree.
In any of the Spider-Man films.
I had that in my notes, and I think they always give Zendaya shit for like, oh, she's always the same person, but this is not rude. You know what I'm saying? I think too because she's been that teenager for so long.
Yes.
That I could see because the look even was similar to Ruth. It was the, you know.
Do you think?
Similar, I do think so. In some of the, maybe like the very first one. So I feel like she definitely had on like a
not in this film, in the previous one. Absolutely.
Yeah, the first couple of movies, she was dressed and styled like Ruth. The hair, everything.
Absolutely. Realistically, no Tino shit, you look like a strung out genius.
Whoa.
You did. Wow. She could have been interchangeable. If you showed me some scenes of MJ and some scenes of Rue, couldn't tell you which this was being filmed at.
Yeah.
Especially if you like change the lighting to make sure the lighting was the same.
And as long as the scene isn't too like gratuitous, you could probably mix and match them.
Honestly,
all that to say, I do think she definitely is showing a different side of MJ in this, and a different like acting, you know, as MJ, as Zendaya.
And you know, this is the thing with her, because she lost her memories, but both her and Ned, we see, are looking for Spider-Man. Really, Ned is looking for Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's one thing. He already loved and was like obsessed with Spider-Man anyway. Yeah. Before he even knew that was his best friend.
Absolutely. But MJ is looking for something. She doesn't know what she's looking for, but she knows that something is missing and that she's waiting for it. Yeah. And I think that she probably, up until this point, never longed for anything. I feel like she was always very smart. She was involved in her stuff. She was a genius. Yeah. You know, she got the boy. You know. Yeah. She was with Spider-Man. Yeah. And I feel like she could sense that there was more. And like, while Ned was like lining up everything, like we had to have known him. Yeah. And while Ned was on an active search for Spider-Man, I think she was able to acknowledge that like there's something missing.
There's an interesting conversation that she has with Ned where she was offered a job because they just finished college. Yeah. And the crazy thing is that when the movie starts, they're like just getting to college. We follow this through like social media. Yeah. Because Ned, you know, is social media. So and by the end of that opening montage, they're on their last semester of college, and it was like, damn, I've heard like audible damns and gasps in the room.
Out more years of a dream that he planned. Yeah, and that in itself was so painful to watch.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, he did plan that as well. They were all supposed to go to MIT together, so that was one thing for sure. But yeah, back to MJ Zendaya. I do feel like she definitely knew something was wrong too, because she turned that job down.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You turned that down?" She's like, "Yeah, something's just, I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Something's just not right with that company."
Yeah, bigger.
Yeah, she wants something bigger. I think she really just wants. She sees that something is missing, but she might not know exactly what that is. Like you said.
Yeah.
So for sure.
We got great performances from the Punisher.
Yeah, he was the standout for me. The standout for me was John Barenthal as the Punisher.
Frank Castle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very true. He's even more New York and more Punisher-y than he is on the shows to me. He's more, his jokes landed. We've been talking about movies lately that jokes that just don't land.
Yeah.
Sorry, Masters of the Universe.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah. And you have some good cameos. And I mean, we're gonna get the cat out of the bag.
Well, but first, I do want to talk more on him. It was a great development, and when you look at the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s, there are a couple episodes of The Punisher, and you get that Spider-Man interaction. Yeah. And like, this was a great way to test the waters of Peter and Spider-Man working alongside basically a freaking R-rated character. Yeah. Because when we get into seeing like how his relationship with Deadpool can go and flow, and that type of like angst and just like the punniness and their dark humor and like how he likes to keep them in line. That's one of the people that like always wants to take it like very far, and he has to be like, reel it in, baby. Yeah. So the dynamic between the two of them was great, and then we got to see him soften in a way that made sense
for sure.
Because he's very unrelenting. You know,
very unrelenting, and that I love their relationship, and I love the Punisher's like little arc that he has here. Yes. Because there is very much that back and forth. There's some adventures they've had off screen where he had apparently saved the Punisher. And that's a running gag throughout, the story. But there's another moment where the Punisher has to like save him in this movie. And so it's really nice to have that back and forth and then have that balance. But you do see that the Punisher, he's not for the shit. No. Like Spider-Man is like, okay, but don't kill shots, or okay, but make sure that everybody's safe. But the Punisher come in with guns, grenades, explosives, everything. And he's here to punish.
And I do appreciate that.
I respect that.
Because like, girl, the name is the Punisher, bitch. Yeah. Not the subduer. Yeah. So when you call me for the backup, baby, you're gonna get the backup.
He's not afraid to kill
you. Don't call me if you don't want a bitch dead.
Well, Peter said I didn't call you. I told you to stay back in the house.
Too bad. You involved me in your shit. You set up all my booby traps. Girl.
Yeah. And I gotta reset that shit. Over here.
Over here. Don't me up, girl. You know I got guns.
Yeah.
You ain't never seen me not shoot a bitch in the head.
Very true.
So, anyways, now, let's talk about it. We actually waited a decent amount of time.
We did.
If you're still watching and you don't want any spoilers, turn back now.
Now is the time to turn back.
Yeah.
Turning back is. But yes.
Yeah.
So
speculation online.
Yes.
That we see Spider-Man going and like somebody is like ramming through the jail with a tank. We see like these quick scenes in the trailer of like looking at this person and then like jumping to this next person, and we know that like something is inhabiting these people.
Right.
So
I thought it was a symbiote or something like that.
And that could have been an answer. Yeah. And that would have been good as well. But because of the speed of it, I know it couldn't have been, and I know that it was going to be a telepath. Now, a couple months ago, the internet was rumbling and shaking, saying that a particular red-headed girl from one of your favorite Netflix series was going to be on it as the first official recasting of a lead X-Men character, Jean Grey. And I was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't know.
You already don't heard it.
I don't. We'll see.
Yeah.
And literally 2 days before, the day before the film came out, Tamantia Holland / Zendaya
Coleman.
Oh. Yeah. Thomas Coleman.
Oh.
Take her last name, bitch. Did a video and he was like, Sadie Sink is not in this, and she is not Jean Grey. That told me immediately that she was.
Oh.
Anytime, look, Tom knows that he can't be trusted. Anytime that he going out of his way to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's not.
So do you think somebody should have said something earlier and it should have been him? Or was it just already the cat out of the bag?
I feel like in the year 2026, anything that is released is not leaked. It is released. Even if the studios do it, I think they wanted to float to see how the public would receive. I think they wanted to soften the blow.
So you think somebody released this on purpose?
I think Disney did. Disney had to. It's 2026. Tom has leaked shit about every single film. They don't tell Tom Holland shit that they don't want out there. I mean, he had a lot of scenes with her and he was in the film, so it was going to happen, right? But I also feel like in today's age, right, when we look at the trailer for Doomsday, there's a lot of chatter and a lot of commotion going on about what X-Men are going to be in Doomsday and which are not. And the uproar right now is the fact that we're not getting Halle Storm, and we're not getting the Queen Goddess Empress Famke Janssen as Jean Grey.
That's what they're saying.
Yes, we're not. People are pissed. Well, and they have yet to be confirmed.
Right.
So I think in knowing that Doomsday trailer was going to come out for the SDCC, Spiderman is coming out the week of or the week after, technically, of SDCC featuring Jean Grey.
Right.
They wanted to soften the blow by like, hey bitches, Jean is here.
Yeah.
It's not her, it's her. So we're just throwing it out there so y'all can get your own thoughts out, see online how mad you are, how happy you are, or whatever your think pieces are on it, because it's going to happen. But instead of it just happening at the same time in the same week, the blow was softened. For anyone who would be upset. No one here is upset. But in doing that, they took the excitement.
Yeah. Nobody here was upset about not seeing those characters, the OGs.
No, not that.
Oh.
They need to be in Doomsday. What I'm saying is, for Sadie being Jean or Sadie being in this, I enjoyed her. I think she's a good actress.
Too. Oh, people are upset about that?
Yes.
Oh. Really?
Absolutely.
Oh.
That's why I handle the young minds. It's a dangerous, dark, disgusting world out there.
Well, don't touch me again.
Oh.
Two. But no, I didn't know people were upset. I thought it was more so, I don't know. I didn't know how they felt about it.
If people think anything, there was going to be somebody who loves
there's always somebody that's going to be upset. That's true. There's always going to be somebody that's mad. You can't please everybody.
Yeah, you can't please everybody.
I thought she was great. I thought she was a pretty great Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Jean Grey is my favorite, Marvel character, period. Yeah, that's just who she is. So, and I fell in love with her with Famke Janssen back in 2000.
Fucking nice.
So, yeah, that really started my, jump into, superhero movies, superhero in general. Because I didn't really read any, comics growing up. Yeah. I didn't really watch a lot of superhero cartoons, religiously like that either. So that actually kind of sparked all this. All that to say, I thought Sadie Sink was a great Jean Grey. I feel like her iteration of the character is one we haven't seen before in live action.
Yeah.
And I think there's a certain sadness and tragedy. I mean, there's definitely sadness and tragedy that goes on with this character, and it's not the Dark Phoenix.
Absolutely.
The Dark Phoenix is tragic. Yes, it's tragedy. Yes. But what happens to her here has a whole different type of tragedy, a whole different type of sadness. And it just paints Jean as a different character really completely. Yeah. Compared to the other ones. Because I feel like the other iterations, they start off with meek and then go to Dark Phoenix. Right. Whereas she's not that. She's not meek. She's like, bitch, and what's going on?
This is the thing. She starts off as meek in the films, and then we eventually see that even in X3 and in that Dark Phoenix fucking film that they did, we see that she actually was a badass doing reckless shit and very powerful when she was really young. And Charles is the one who puts up these barriers. So I think this was really great to show the scale and the development of her power, to give us an inciting incident to introduce Charles, and to show why Charles would put these mental blocks and dams that could affect her personality.
I wonder if they're gonna go that route, like how hard they're gonna lean into that.
Yeah.
Or if they're just gonna do something just different with it and have him just be more, just teaching her more, and that's enough for her.
Right.
Instead of actually putting blocks. I'm interested to see.
I think, it would be interesting to see. I think they could do it because she doesn't have like a long-lasting relationship really with Spider-Man, whereas Peter would need to be like, girl, you different. You really after you did what you did downtown in New York City. So they could get away with it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the very exciting part. Now
it is exciting
that we have like, you know, Peter acknowledges that I am mutated. I'm a mutant. You can see the word mutant. We have the inhibitor devices.
There's an inhibitor that comes into play in this because, well, we're talking plainly here. Because Hulk has one. He's a teacher now, just standard teacher, David Banner. And he has an inhibitor, and that like sparks Spider-Man's brain because he's trying to fight this mutation, fight the arachnid side of himself. And so he creates an inhibitor, and they have a very interesting a very interesting conversation where morality comes into play. Like that inhibitor that Bruce Banner is wearing is specifically for him. It's tailored to his gamma stuff, and it's like catching it before it, like the DNA goes too far.
Correct.
Whereas Spider-Man was not only making one for himself, but then he also was thinking like, well, what if we did a universal one? Mm-hmm. Meaning you could just stop any kind of mutation, any kind of like anomaly.
Correct.
With anyone. And you know, Bruce Banner wasn't too keen on that. He was like, no, hold on, sister.
Yeah.
You know, we smart and everything, you know, but...
You know, he had one of his best lines inside of the film where he was like, you're trying to control the expression of something that, like, needs to be expressed.
Yes. That is good.
Yeah. And then that leads to, like, the Hulk. He is suppressing the Hulk. And, like, when this big showdown starts to go down, because you've, like... twisted the lid tight on that bottle of Coke and shook it the up and left it in the backseat of your car under the heat for what now has at least been close to a decade. With the time skip that happened internally inside of the year, and then now 4 years, we're roughly 9 or so years in by my math, if I'm wrong. But
if he's wrong, let us know in the comments.
It's been years, right? And he's been suppressing. And when that motherfucker was let loose, you're like, ain't no Banner, bitch. It's me. I'm tired of this shit.
It was uncontrollable. And you know, Jean Grey was on a rampage. So she wasn't fucking around.
She was not.
So the inhibitor is introduced as well. We know that, or if you don't know, in X-Men that's a big like technological thing where you know you capture a mutant, put that inhibitor on them, they down for the for the count. So there's a lot of things that are introduced here that I think I'm very interested to see how they play out. I'm just such a whore for X-Men. I wanted so much more of it. But you know, there's no post credit for X-Men. There's none of that is there. So I'm just so greedy for it. But y'all gave me plenty. And honestly, I want to go back and watch it again, knowing that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, because during the whole movie, it was like is she not? And then I realized that we're like halfway through the movie almost, and we haven't seen Sadie Sink at all. So I'm like, oh, she's probably the big villain, the big bad that's been doing all this. And I'm like, okay, well, she is the big bad that's been doing all this. And they're like, oh, and she's Jean. I'm like, oh. Jean Elaine Grey. I was like, oh, wow, so all those things. So it was a very bittersweet thing because I didn't really want it to be spoiled for me. And somebody in the audience like audibly gasped. It wasn't a lot of them, maybe like 2 or 3 of them, but I can only imagine that realization in real time as opposed to being told months prior.
For sure.
So, but all that to say, you know, I gave acting and dialogue an 8.
Okay. So, let's power through these next 2, honestly, because I don't think there's super much to talk about.
I don't think so either.
But cinematography, flat out 10.
Ooh. Oh. King. Oh.
You gonna do the score?
So yes, I give cinematography a 9.
Yikes.
I know.
So apparently there's stuff.
I mean, there's some stuff to talk about, but I can't really think of anything. Actually, I can. But this cinematography was done by Brett Paula? You know Paula?
No.
Oh, get off my phone.
Oh.
Prior to this, I don't think it was anything that we had seen. He did a movie, He Bled Neon. He also did a Jazzman's Blues, the 24th. It's interesting that he is not a recurring cinematographer within the MCU. Because we saw the director and the writers work. But he did do cinematography for I Am Not a Hipster and Short Term 12, and Destin Daniel Cretton directed both of them.
Okay.
So there is a tie in. There's something there. But yeah, I thought the cinematography was really good. There's a lot of great shots, like a lot of great action shots and action sequences and camera movements in that regard. But camera movements, I guess is what I'm seeing. But I don't recall a lot of great shots.
Oh, well, let me speak.
Okay.
So honestly, I think that the film was beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, 10s across the board. It made me want to go and play Spiderman. Like,
that is true. He was in there. He was like,
I need to play because this is what it was.
Some webs.
I got some vertigo watching him jump off of those buildings and like swing. Yeah. Like when we got inside of his helmet, one, it gave the intensity of like what the actual physical strain was, and then also the isolation and the loneliness that he's feeling all the time. Only does he sit down and watch Ned's lives, and he does not have anyone that he interacts with, and a couple of people inside of
everyone he's interacting with is a fucking criminal.
Yeah,
they need to be subdued.
Honestly, or a vigilante.
One or two.
There were some great slow-mo events. We have a beautiful opening action scene that happens in the beginning. It's like a montage.
I do love that montage.
Some like great classic Spider-Man villains, some other Marvel villains that are in there, and just like fleshing out the world. It's a great job of like putting these characters in there in a way that Fox attempted to do, except it was done much more intelligently by saying, hey, Steven, I've got you, bitch. Instead of just putting a bitch with pink hair in the back and be like, y'all saw Jubilee? No. I didn't know that one girl was 2 chairs back with the pink hair was Jubilee, bitch. How could I? But you run down the character sheet and the cast sheet of like, so-and-so was so-and-so, and would never recast, never casted again in the same role, never came back. I think there were like 2 or 3 different Jubilees before we actually got the actual portrayal in the rebooted one. Yeah. Like, it's shit like that that's just stupid and gratuitous compared to what they actually did in this film. And they like fleshed it out and they're like expanded.
They did a really good job with that. And I thought all their cameos and Easter eggs, they didn't feel forced. That was a note I took absolutely with everybody that shows up.
And they're smart. We got some people who were just on that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that new animated series. Some villains from that were in this. Some villains from '97 and some stuff like that are on this. So it was just stuff that makes sense in how that they actually did it, and making sure that all of their products are working in tandem for a unified idea, despite telling different aspects of their story, different universes. The web slinging was awesome. The similarities between like him kind of going through like the second stage puberty from the spider DNA. Simple things like the webbing looked great when he cocooned himself. There was like,
true. There's a big difference between the web that he was manufacturing and the web that he was creating physically, biologically.
And we even saw the difference in how that reacted in weapons. There was an amazing fight with Scorpion inside of the film. And by fight, I mean an ass whooping. So good. There were just some great dynamic shots. And then like, of course, it's the MCU, so the budget is going to budget. We got to see, I liked how Jean's powers worked. And I like that spike that we got there. I like,
for sure.
Everybody's looking for VMAX and finding out what this was devastating.
It was devastating.
It was art.
That was good.
They did a lot of great things. Handling telepathy, going inside of people's minds, Spidey's abilities and his powers. Also, I have a note that says, "Okay, Bobby."
Oh yeah, he was probably more shirtless in this than he's ever been in any Spider-Man.
As he should at this.
He was showing it out. You know, I definitely thought there were some great sequences. One of them that stands out to me is that big like jumping of the hand. You know, the group, they're just like flying group. They do it twice, and the second time, even Spider-Man is like, "Oh, it's so cool."
Yeah,
because it is cool. Just the staging of all that is so cool. And I did love the little nods to Jean Grey and Phoenix, like the scrunchie of her that she had was like yellow and green, and they had her dressed in a lot of yellow and green.
Yeah, her one coat was very. I've seen something that looked very similar.
Yeah,
in some of
I could be something with a hood like that, but you know, I feel like I don't know. I have to look into that. How that's gonna land on me.
All right.
But anyway,
last category. Now, what did you?
I'm gonna go first because he's our sound man, so I'm actually gonna get everything I gotta get out of the way. I give sound design a 7. I know.
You
probably should
sick?
be higher. I'm a bit sick about it. They did start off very strong with Wolf Like Me by TV on the radio, which I love that song. I love that band, and I love the recurring like musical theme. But I don't. For me, I didn't find myself like really enjoying the original music in the video. Not for me. I mean, I recognize the theme and they had a repetitive theme. But I can't see myself like listening to that on my own. All that to say, what'd you give it, Relly?
I give it a 10.
Oh yeah?
Sicko.
Oh.
So, the sound score was done by Michael Giacchino. Pronunciation, I don't know. But he is a legend, he's an icon. He did Alias, he did Call of Duty Medal of Honor. He's done Lost, he did Fringe, he did Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus. He did a very great, I think, crafted soundtrack and score. I think that you had the sounds of New York, I think you had the action, you had the energy in there. And I think you had
that's true.
The original Spider-Man theme that was in there. It's not just the music that they use, but the scoring that they use behind the film. And I think that they did a very, very beautiful job, personally, on this.
Let the record show.
Other than Wolf Like Me, by TV on the radio, which was great. That's what played during this opening montage scene where we got to see more of the Marvel villains from the Spider-Man universe and his world and everything like that.
How he been carrying on and whatnot.
Yeah. There's another song that I cannot pronounce, but I'll put it on the screen. It's by Monetachka. This is the song that plays when Spider-Man takes the train and basically finds out what's going on. So this film also is scored, but then there's musical drops that are done very much like Is God Is did. Where once this particular action is finished happening or is about to happen, we're gonna score it, we're gonna play like his transition Spider-Man theme in these parts, and then like walking through the city, him catching the trains, him running through, doing these action montages. They have these very great song choices that were done. We also got Loser by Tame Impala, which was playing when Peter follows Ned to the party after seeing him that one time.
I didn't realize that song was called Loser. I knew it was Tame Impala, but I didn't know the name of the song.
Yeah.
Damn.
It honestly was like very touching. And like, again, the music is woven so well and intricately. I think that it helps to give the feeling of Spider-Man. It felt like a Spider-Man film. It felt like New York. And I thought it was
true. It did feel like New York. And it was very busy. They did capture the hustle and the bustle. They also captured like when his spider senses are like on the fritz. And then how intense that is. Water drops, chip bag.
Absolutely. The sound of like his senses going on 10. The sound of that chip bag rolling around the ground sounded like a monster.
That and the cinematography combined with like that shaky, like almost blinding light, they have around the fuzzy light. That was good. I still have to stick to my 7 because I've already said it.
Do what you gotta do.
No.
Now, my final score tallies up to a 9.5.
9.9
for this film. What did you give it?
I ended up giving it an 8.5.
8.5.
It's solid. I feel like I probably could have given it a solid 9, but I've already put in my score.
I could have given it a solid 10, but I feel good about what it was.
I feel really good about it. I really want to watch it again.
Absolutely. Definitely will watch it again. For those of you who don't know, Spider-Man is my favorite.
That's true. Check the hoodie. If you don't know, now you know.
Time.
I got my little...
Got my glasses, got my... So, we have a lot of great stuff that's coming. More movies, more actual events out there. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by, the characters in this film?
Yeah.
Was this a spoiler for you? Once you watch the film and you come back, if you left at the spoiler section and you came back because you love us so much, was it a spoiler or did you already expect it?
Yeah.
What did you think? What are your scores? Start posting your scores.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. And of course,
forward.
like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
As always.
Comment below as well. Look out for every Monday. We're going to do another movie review.
Yeah, we're doing our movie reviews every Monday at 2 p.m.
Absolutely. And then keep an eye out where every other Friday we're going to do another sit down and do like an on-camera video for everything that we say from the pod.
Yes.
From TV to movies to wrestles that are coming up. Something very big in January that we're working on.
Oh yeah, we are working on that. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Conventions, food tours, maybe even some of our fitness journeys, some watch-alongs with us.
Absolutely.
We might even do a movie review. Ariana Grande just released her album.
Music review.
Yes, an album.
A movie review. Ariana Grande.
We might actually do an album review.
We might.
Give our ratings on that. So, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Oh wait, mine will be. The mental power. Oh, ooh. All right. Oh.